friends, I would like to welcome you to the former Yugoslavia, specifically Croatia and Bosnia. So here we are just outside of Split, Croatia, on the coast of the Aegean Sea. Italy is like across the sea from us. And right now we are at this medieval town on an island. It's called TROGIR and it's amazing. Every corner you turn, there's another alleyway and walkway and stairway. I'm in love. So TROGIR is this little island city on the UNESCO list of World Heritage Sites, and it has this beautiful Venetian architecture. It was actually founded in the 3rd century BC, not AD. BC. So Croatia has a very interesting and confusing history because it's been invaded so many times by so many different people over centuries. For most of the 20th century, it was considered Yugoslavia. In 1991, it gained its own freedom and Croatia became the Republic of Croatia, so very recently. Then we drove into Split and had lunch there. So here we are in Old Town Split. We're exploring and looking for a restaurant and James is talking to people, which is awesome. I feel like I've hit a wall. So tired. We made our way down the coast of Croatia for about 3 hours, actually cutting through Bosnia because there's this little section of Bosnia that goes along the coast and then you go back into Croatia to get to Dubrovnik, which is becoming this huge tourist destination. So this is the roof of our new hotel. Look at that amazing view. This is us. It's a video. Also very simple. That view is just amazing.
0% of people address us in English. Despite my ridiculous getup, everyone addresses us in German.
Even if they speak English.
Because she's German.
These are the baskets at the first grocery store in Croatia. You can carry them or roll them.
It's 2 p.m. How are you, sweetie?
I was just tired my entire life.
In your entire life? So you'd say this is the most tired you've been in your entire life?
Well, it is now 4 o'clock and I finally have enough energy to wake up. I thought I was gonna die. I'm not gonna lie. Very dramatic.
Tiffany.
James this morning got up and went and explored Dubrovnik because I am not feeling well today. It's super nauseous and super bad headache. So I laid in bed and he went out and explored. He said that to get out his energy, he ran up and down all the steps.
There are a lot of steps here. A lot of steps. If you're gonna come, you should. It's great, but be prepared. There are a lot of steps.
So Dubrovnik is this beautiful old city. It's been around since before the Byzantine Empire. And actually it's where they filmed some of Game of Thrones, I guess. I've never seen the show, but that's a famous thing about it. And we officially started our Christmas shopping in Dubrovnik. We love getting gifts when we're traveling because it's like, oh, Merry Christmas. I thought of you when I was in Croatia. Is that a sign for cold drinks with the best view? And here we are.
Chilling in Dubrovnik, just me and the snuggle, me and the camera, getting ready for some tourist fun.
Our plan is to drive to Sarajevo, Bosnia, and stop and see MOSTAR on the way, but I feel so crappy. Definitely some kind of stomach bugs. Is this a 2-lane road?
It's more like an alley up a mountain.
Got some fresh cherries here. We're gonna get them. How is it?
Still very skinny road.
Just when I thought I was getting over feeling better, I went down this crazy bumpy windy mountain road and I feel like I'm gonna barf.
Stop by the side of the road. Tiffany is not feeling good after some very, very, very windy roads. Hope she feels better.
Oh, we just got in a very, very tiny fender bender. Okay, this was like my funniest memory of the whole trip, and I'll tell you about it, but first I just have to say, here's what you're looking at. This is MOSTAR. So Bosnia was such a cool country to explore because it has this like Turkish influence, so it's almost like an East meets West, like Middle East kind of feel. So there'd be these Ottoman markets that James said reminded him of when he was in Istanbul. And then there was this famous Starry Most bridge that we got to see. It also was really interesting and sad to see all the bombed out buildings that there still were just everywhere from the civil war in the 90s. Okay, so here's the story of the accident. Like, the traffic is crazy in Bosnia. Like, there was one intersection which had like 4 or 5 lanes of traffic coming together, and there were no traffic signals that we saw. Like, no street light, no yield sign, no stop sign. It was a free-for-all. Like, Bosnia is like the Wild West. And so we're in Mostar, we get to the end of a road, and it tees off, and both directions have this like do not enter sign on it. So we're like, well, we'll just choose one. So we go to the left, and this policeman's standing there, and he's like, no, that's not right. So he starts beckoning us to back up, and I was like, James, do you want me to get out and help you? He's like, no, I'll follow the policeman. So the policeman backs us up into another car, and the policeman didn't speak any English. Thankfully, the driver did, and James explained what happened, and he's like, well, I think 25 euro would fix this. So then the driver gets all nice and friendly, and he's like, where are you going? And we tell him, and he's like, oh, just follow me. So we follow him like a mile, and then he just stops his car in the middle of an intersection, gets out of his car, comes back to ours. He's like, so you're gonna take a left here, then you wanna go down, you're looking for a parking lot, you wanna ask somebody, and all these cars are either just waiting patiently or driving around us. Because he stopped in the middle of an intersection. It was so funny. So sweet husband who just went to the grocery store and is now cooking me dinner. What number dinner is this gonna be that you've made in our entire marriage?
Probably 6. You can barely see them, but there's minarets. There's calls to prayer going on throughout the city. Yeah, so here's the steps that we tried to get past last night, but could not. We came around the bend and couldn't get past the steps, so we had to back up all the way down this tiny alley. It was quite an adventure.
Another interesting thing about Bosnia is that it's a place where Muslims, Orthodox Christians, and Catholics have lived together in relative harmony for hundreds of years. So you'd see mosques with like a church almost across the street. So then we set off on our drive up north. This was our longest drive of the trip. It was like 7 hours, I think. Hold on, I'm missing all of this.
Yeah, it really, if you just add the suffix in Bosnia to anything, it just sounds that much more intense. Like, yeah, I was driving down a road in Bosnia. Or yeah, going to get some street food in Bosnia.
Just some wide open country roads in Bosnia.
In Bosnia, exactly. You look so much better, Snoogles. It's so good to have the feisty Snoogles back.
I'm Tiffany, and I'm here. I'm ready to argue. Doesn't really matter about what, but I'm ready.
What I wake up to in the morning. Hotness. Honey on Nutella. Very interesting breakfast. You can see it in his face. He's like, stop judging me. So here we are at Plitvice Lakes Park, and James is traveling in style with cherries on one hand and water on the other. So Plitvice Lakes National Park is also on the UNESCO World Heritage Register, and apparently it's one of the oldest national parks in Southeast Europe.
Snoogles, cone waterfall.
Hiking in the rain. Our first day of rain, we are already quite wet, but at least it's not cold. And it's basically like a series of little lakes that all fall into one another. So instead of one huge waterfall, there's a whole ton of little ones, like between tree roots, under trees. There's a little cave section, like so many waterfalls. It was so beautiful. We must have walked like 5 miles that day. Thankfully, I was starting to feel better. These pictures here, funny story. There was this sign that said, do not climb down here, danger of falling or whatever. And I was like, I have to climb down there to get this picture. And that's so unlike me. Usually James is the one saying that. And I'm like, come back, don't die and leave me. And then we drove to Slovenia. Guys, we are now in Slovenia and we have a bed and breakfast and a balcony. What? This is so exciting. Once we checked into our bed and breakfast, we went to this restaurant that had, I think they're called krukis, rolled up dough with pizza fillings in between, and they had gluten-free ones, and they were really good. We're walking in a cave. Wait, what's it called again?
Rakia.
This is our rock scramble down that James is navigating first, and I just did it in sandals.